I didn't know that Ben was a writer. So we don't normally think of attorneys as moonlighting as writers. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about your interest in writing.
Well, I have been a writer all my life, actually. I started a newspaper, my first newspaper, when I was in 5th grade. And I did scholastic journalism all through high school and college journalism. And after I got out of college, I became a newspaper reporter and an editor. And I did that until I became a lawyer, which I did in my early 30s. And even as a lawyer, you know, there's a lot of writing involved. The tricks of the writer's trade come in handy even in those dry memoranda and legal briefs. And I've also written a lot of speeches and essays over the years. And so for me to write a play was really a natural.
Okay.
I decided that it would be the story of Jacob and Esau because I've always loved that story. And I decided that I would do it in rhyming couplets because that is, it's an ancient story. And the people who are here in the audience will be witnessing an ancient story. And I thought if I had it in modern day vernacular, it would seem a little bit too close to our own time. I wanted to create the atmosphere of ancient times. So I wanted to make the spoken words a little bit different. So that's the genre that I selected also. And this is all told in the Bible, but what isn't there is the texture. If you put yourself in the position of these people, you realize that there was a lot of emotion, there was a lot of tension. They would have had a lot of hard discussions, and when they were experiencing these events, it would have been difficult. And so when I was writing Jacob and Esau, I tried to imagine what they might have said, what they might have felt, what they might have thought, so that I could present that on stage.
So it sounds like there are some themes that would definitely resonate with modern audiences.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I think reconciliation is probably the #1 theme, and that would be evident to anybody who's read the story in Genesis. And this is a big issue today. We lost Nelson Mandela in the last few months. There was a worldwide outpouring. Why is that? Because he personified the idea of reconciliation. He led his country away from the possibility of a bloodbath. He provided a path toward reconciliation of the races in South Africa. And we Jews remember another African, Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt, who turned his back on very violent allies and reconciled, made peace with Israel. And these policies of reconciliation in our modern times are the reason why these two men are high on the list of the greatest leaders of our times.
Ben, before we close our conversation, I wonder if you could talk about some of the other creative people that are involved in this project?
Oh, well, a wonderful thing, and this is my first play, but I found out right away that a wonderful thing about the theater is that the playwright and the script are just the beginning. You need a great director to realize it on stage, and we have just such a person, Gary Zachariah, right here in our congregation. We will be auditioning for actors, of course. You need a producer who can pull together everything that needs to be done to put it on stage, and we have Ken Simon, who is just a wonderful organizer and manager and people person. You need a composer because there will be an overture and some thematic music. And so we have Jess Marler, who's an up-and-coming composer, music student, composition and voice student from Smith College. And we will have people doing costumes, people doing makeup, scenery. It's just a wonderful collaborative project that is really a great thing about the theater.
Very exciting for everyone, I'm sure.
Certainly exciting for me.
I know you have a very creative family as
Well, yes, you know, I took piano lessons until I had to start studying for my bar mitzvah. That was until about age 11 and a half. As a result of stopping those music lessons, I am the only non-musician in my family. My wife and my son are cellists, and my daughter is a mezzo-soprano. And I've been envious of people who are in the arts, who are in the humanities, or who make music for pleasure. And I have felt in the last few years the need for some kind of a creative and artistic means of expression. So this is my first play, but I have more plays inside waiting to come